SCGBALT.com Legacy Open. Ali and Chazi took down the Standard Open, for those of you that may have missed it, playing Twin Blade, not Caw Blade. 0 copies of Squadron Hawk in the finals. It was a Twin Blade mirror match. But Ali is playing a really, really interesting deck here today in Legacy, and he is doing pretty well. I believe he may have 1 loss, I think. And it's in true Ali and Chazi fashion. We have a Turbo Land deck. Explorations, Azusa Lost but Seeking, Horn of Greed, Time Warp, and then the potential for an infinite number of Walk the Aeons. Walk the Aeons with buyback just over and over again. So really, really exciting from Ali. So. All right, so are we getting another? We're checking to see if we can get another match.
See if we can get another match here. Oh, that is a deck from Ken. It looks a lot like Survival.
It's weird, yeah. It's Survival without Survival. I mean, he's got Fauna Shelm in there, which was typically like a backup to Survival. I mean, kind of like the backup plan for using Survival. But he has other options. He's able to, cutting the Survival gives him the room for.
Perhaps we get him in here to do an interview on his deck too.
That'd be great.
I don't know if you'd like to interview him.
Yeah, why not?
Now, we can go back to looking at some of these cards from M12 that are here on the Wizards website.
So no big game hunter, unfortunately.
No madness.
Matt was trolling us unintentionally, I think, which really is just a mistake. But did you see Quicksilver Amulet? I think, right? Quicksilver Amulet's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean. We have Jin to the Taxis and Emrakul.
And Blightsteel Colossus.
And
Eldrazi. Quicksilver Amulet is a reprint. I can't remember what set it's originally from. I want to say Mirage-ish, Visions era, around that time. Feels like roughly that time. But yeah, we're getting that back in M12. Let's see. Urza's Legacy. Okay. A little later than I thought, but still. Yes.
Oh man, the old art's so sweet.
Yeah, it's got like a kind of woman like, hey, look, a lion's head kind of thing.
Gotta pick up old ones.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
What does it cost?
Oh, look at this! It's adorable!
Look at this lion! It's a Savannah lion. It's exactly what you want to be paying all this mana to do.
Like the flavor text, too.
All right, what does it say?
Wonderful! You got a lion on your first try!
Isn't that what you say when you play turn 1 Savannah Lions? I mean, wonderful. What it costs? It's a 4 casting cost artifact, and it costs, what is it? 4 and tap it.
4 and tap it.
Put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. So, if you happen to activate this and put an Eldrazi into play, you do not get an extra turn with Emrakul.
No, you don't.
You do get a 15/15 Annihilator 6 that has protection from colored spells, which is not as good as an extra turn with that. Also,
but if you put it on Jin to the Taxis and you drop him into play, and you draw 7 cards.
Yeah, even better if you drop him into play at the end, like right before your opponent's end step, and make them just immediately discard. Seems good too. I mean, you can do it.
You know what's really good at activating this? Grand Architect.
Grand Architect.
Like if you play a 2-drop blue guy, and then you play Grand Architect, you can just cast this thing on turn 3, and then turn 4 on, you just obviously only cast into the Taxes for the rest of the game.
Exactly.
Or not cast, but put into play.
Thank you, sir.
We're receiving secret messages.
All right, secret messages look like deck lists. I almost said deck lynches because we're seeing Paul Lynch, another local guy. Actually, I think won the Legacy Open, or at least top 8'd it last time in Baltimore in September. Paul Lynch is a guy I've known for a while. Every time I think of playing against Paul, I think of playing the Fairies Mirror when Lorwyn was standard legal. But Paul is playing a completely different tribe today, and it is his chosen tribe. I think he's like Alex Bertoncini. He loves the merfolk. He loves the fish.
He's a merfolk fan?
Yeah, he's
a different kind of fish on the other side of the table. Bant
fish.
This is fish is a a name for a deck that seems to Merfolk has kind of become fish now.
Right.
Fish is more.
They're fishy.
Fish is. I think there are multiple kinds of fish.
True.
In the sea. So this is also like we can just call it Bant. It's like Bant sword, right?
Let me see the. I'm gonna pass the deck list over to Jeremy so he can get the name set up on the camera for us. But
he has Green Sun Zenith. It's a card a lot of people really like for Legacy. He has the Dryad Arbor, so he can play the Green Sun Zenith. Essentially, he's a Light and Whirl if he needs to. From there on out, it only gets better. He can Green Sun Zenith for 2 and get Noble Hearts, or pay 2 mana, 3 mana. He can get Tarmogoyfs, Kasali Bride Mage. And once he starts spending more mana, he can get cards like Knight of the Reliquary. And that's just incredible.
so going into game 3.
And they have a 2-minute time extension. Alright, they're shuffling up.
That's Paul on the left, I can tell you that by his arm.
And both these players at 3-0 right now, I believe. Right?
I think so. That's probably why they're in the future match area. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, Justin's list is really, it's just a Bant aggro list, right? I mean, it's not
similar to
no Force of Wills.
what James played at
no
at
Force
the
of Will GP. Yeah. No Natural Order combo.
No foe.
Just
It's good.
Yeah, just good creatures. So. Alright.
He's not playing Force of Will. Both these players, they have the common bond of tattoos on their right arms.
Yeah.
Both of these players capable of winning a Magic tournament, not capable of being buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Oh yeah. Very interesting to point that out. Justin looks like he's gonna have to mulligan here.
He's gonna go down to 6 cards.
Do you know which player is on the play? See if we can find that out.
I assume that Paul is on the play because he seemed to
Indicate
make
he
a
was
keep
good.
motion before.
Yeah. I didn't catch it, but yeah. Sounds about right. That is confirmed. So, yeah,
Paul
Paul
looks to be chanting 5.
Yeah. Paul definitely very good with the Merfolk. Really good guy too. Glad to see him doing well. He's Legacy is his format too. Definitely really big fan of Legacy. He's been playing it for a long time. And I can't even remember a time when he wasn't playing Merfolk. So
It's a good thing. Once you can go with a deck, especially in a format like this, a lot of the time it's best to just stick with that deck.
yeah, it seems like Merfolk is the perfect deck for that kind of situation too, because it's almost always good. It's at least almost always a decent choice. You know, you don't hear somebody playing Merfolk and go, really?
You're not like, oh, what, are you a donkey playing Merfolk?
Why are you playing Merfolk? You never do that, you know? So.
But, I mean, I don't play Merfolk.
No, I mean...
It's a good deck, though. It's a really fun deck if you play with it. It's got a style of play that I really enjoy.
Yeah. It's like aggro control, right? I mean, it's really more aggro, but it's got the elements to protect it, I guess. So it's not exactly... I guess it's hard to call it aggro control, but it's just not all-in aggro. So Paul leads with a turn 1 Aether Vial, which gets Mental Misstep from Justin.
That's a foil Aether Vial.
Yeah, playing Merfolk for this long, it's given Paul a lot of time to get the foil versions of these cards.
Yes.
Justin.
Savannah comes down for
Turn
Justin.
1 Savannah. And we have another foil Zendikar Island and a foil Coral Helm Commander from Paul.
Ooh.
So
Coral Helm Commander is an excellent card. It's proven itself to be very worthy of constructive play.
Absolutely. So Kasali Pride Mage from Justin. It's an F&M Kasali Pride Mage. Curse Catcher from Paul. And Dismember for the Pride Mage.
Alright, so Paul's going to drop to 16. He's going to deal with this Pride Mage. And,
I think Justin's going to drop to 16 here.
Yeah, and then Justin will drop to 16 also. But I'll see you at lose
So,
later.
a daze for Justin's turn 3 Knight of the Reliquary. Daze, a card that especially shines in Merfolk.
So
Lord
Paul's
of
going to drop
Atlantis.
Justin down to 11 there, that attack.
Yeah, Lord of Atlantis pumping both of those guys. Cracking for 5. And presenting quite a problem for Justin. And wow.
Justin just packs it in. He had mulligan to 5.
Yeah, he
His
just...
opponent had an aggressive draw. Beyond the mental misstep, he wasn't really able to brainstorm in anything successfully.
Yeah,
he didn't have any blue mana. And, his back was against the wall. His deck isn't well equipped, even post-board, to handle, like 3 threats when he's already behind. So...
Well, we tried to bring in another little bit more magic. Sometimes this is how it goes. But Paul Lynch wins his round 4, advances to 4-0. And we have 9 rounds today, so we're not even halfway done. So a lot of things could still happen. We've already seen some interesting lists.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Turboland. Excited to see Ken Adams' list with that Buried Alive. No survival list,
yeah.
Right? Very, very cool.
Survival of the fittest with no survival. Pretty good. Now, I wonder if we can get another match for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see if we can get...
Okay, we're going to try to get another match.
Why not try to get another match?
That's good.
Always seems good to be able to watch Magic. No?
No, we're unable to get another match. That's unfortunate, but the next round's about to start. We brought you guys 2 matches already this round.
Yeah, I don't know how much time's left in the round, but it shouldn't be... can't be too much more than roughly 10 minutes. Let's see. 8 minutes. 8 minutes left in the round, 10 minutes left in the round, something like that. Okay, so for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco here with Jacob Van Lunen in Baltimore for the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open. Yesterday was standard, 10 rounds of standard. Grueling for the players to have to go through that many rounds, then go into the quarterfinals, and then if they survive the quarterfinals, show up again this morning 8 a.m. to play the semis and then the finals. And Ali and Trauzi able to weather that storm with Twin Blade and Twin Blade mirror match there in the finals.
And it's an impressive feat to go back-to-back top 8. So if he's able to do that today, that would be really, really impressive.
Absolutely.
We don't see that happen very often.
Yeah, and I mean, we've never seen back-to-back win for the Star City Open Series.
We've not seen a back-to-back win. We've seen second place, first place, and we've seen first place, second place, but we've never seen win-win.
Would be pretty exciting. Over 300 players here for Legacy today. 9 rounds. That's another, it's a long tournament.
It is a long tournament.
And
9-round Legacy tournament.
That's uncommon.
Yeah. And it's good to see the numbers are jumping back up. I think people are excited about playing again now that they know that Jace and Stoneforge are on their way out. Just a few weeks ago, I was out in Louisville, a place that normally draws very big numbers, and we only had a 7-round Legacy tournament.
Yeah.
So
you
have more people, community building.
Absolutely. I think it's really great to see how popular Legacy is getting, and I don't think it's just a function of I'm bored of Callblade and Standard. I think people are just genuinely excited. I mean, the numbers for Legacy were going up before Callblade really started dominating, and I mean, I didn't get into
the retention rate from Standard to Legacy has been just growing and growing as time goes on.
I mean, I certainly didn't get into Legacy because I was bored of Standard.
Me
just
neither.
happened to get into Legacy and really like it a lot, and I keep choosing it over Standard when I get a chance to play. So, just the opportunity.
Yeah, whenever I have a chance to play Legacy, it's always my format of
do
choice.
it. Yeah.
I want to play Ken Adams' deck.
Yeah, it seems really fun. I was thinking building combo elves. I kind of have all the cards now, but I think I have all the cards for Ken Adams' deck too.
Yeah, I have Buried Alive somewhere.
Right, exactly. They're probably just all
have to go to my
sitting in
parents'
there.
house. Be like, why did you throw those away?
Right, I had a whole box of Magic cards in there. What'd you do with my Magic cards? Yeah, definitely. I mean, Buried Alive was reprinted too, wasn't it? It was like in Mirage, and then Odyssey, and then I think again in something else. So there's plenty of Buried Alives out there. But yeah, I think I could build Ken Adams deck with my my current collection without having to get any more cards or many more cards. That's exciting. I like Ollie's deck. Now that one I need to buy some cards for, but I do not have Horn of Greed, I don't think. I also don't have Azusa. I do have the Explorations, though.
I think I have most of. I think I'm the opposite right now.
Yeah.
I have most of Ali's deck,
Yeah.
if not all of it. Like, those are all cards. The thing is, I've played Turbo Land every time it's been viable for the past like decade. So I have all those cards.
Yeah. I've got the Time Warps for sure. I think I'm missing like one copy of Exploration. I played an Exploration deck back when it was in Standard, and I couldn't, for some reason, get the 4th copy of Exploration before it rotated. Like, I wasn't playing very seriously then, and but you know, I did like the Exploration kind of deck, and I was like, eventually I'll get a 4th one. Then it rotated, and I just never found myself ever making any effort to get the 4th one.
To the 4th Exploration.
But yeah, still have. It was an Enchantress deck actually. It was an Exploration with
Argothian Enchantress?
With Argothian Enchantress, right? Like it was a standard
that was a good
deck.
Enchantress.
I was playing Pursuit of Knowledge, which is like that stronghold enchantment. That like when
I know you're talking about. Okay.
It's like when I think it's when you can skip drawing a card, and once it has and put a counter on it. Once it has 2 or 3 counters on it, you sacrifice it and draw 7 cards.
It's like 3 UU.
No, it's white. It's like a white and 2, I think. Pursuit of Knowledge. Yeah, it's Dieter Litzy is the artist on it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's definitely basically it's like you.
I thought I was thinking of a different card. Okay.
Basically, it's like skip drawing 3 cards and sacrifice it and draw 7. So in Enchantress, you're just drawing so many cards. It was kind of like, sure, I'll skip drawing
Just getting
a couple cards and just draw more. I had Sarah's Sanctum in that deck, of course. I messed with it a lot, so I can't remember everything that was in it all the time. But it's some of the cards that spring to mind. Definitely excited to kind of try some of these builds, but I see you taking a look at M12.
Yeah,
again.
but we're here, scrolling through the spoiler a little bit. Quicksilver Amulet.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple minutes ago.
Manolith, neat card, kind of like a Coalition Relic downgrade. But it's only common, so it'll be good limited.
How about Great Sword? Not so great.
Not great.
Not great. But it is another sword in Standard.
Flavor text on Greatsword. The only blow that matters is the killing blow. It's true.
It's true.
Very deep.
I want to, I want them to print a card that like turns swords into plowshares. But they can't call it swords to plowshares. I mean, there's so many swords.
Just like makes all equipment lose soul abilities.
Yeah, sounds good.
Swords to plowshare. Sword to plowshare.
Sword to plowshare. We designed
Enchanted
it.
equipment. Enchanted equipment loses all abilities.
Equipment, it's an aura, enchantment aura, enchant equipment. Yeah, that seems so weird. All right, what are you pointing at there?
Rites of Flourishing?
Rites of Flourishing. Remind people what that does.
All right. It's a Howling Mine.
What was that originally in?
Future Sight.
Okay.
It's a Howling Mine for 2 and a green, and people can play an extra land every turn.
Kind of like Exploration.
Yeah.
It's Exploration plus Howling Mine. Isn't that pretty much what it is, but it's for both players?
Yeah, it's a
Well, Howling Mine is
Exploration.
for both
It's an Exploration that works for both players, and a Howling Mine just like
Stable together, right. 2 colorless for the Howling Mine, 1 green for the Exploration, and at the cost of mashing them together on 1 card is giving your opponent the opportunity to play an extra land a turn. So,
now, one of the things this card goes really well with is Time Warp and taking extra turns. My most recent iteration of Turbo Land was a Rites of Flourishing deck, so that's one of the reasons why I got so excited, because we were just talking about Turbo Land, and then see that. So the other thing that's interesting is Rampant Growth is coming back.
Rampant Growth.
That's going to be good
lore.
for Valka.
Has lore been back for a long time? Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, hey, look, they're reprinting lore. Like, that's been around. Oh. Nobody really plays it, but... if you buy a box of M12 from Star City, you get a free month of premium as a
really?
bonus.
That's pretty
as
good
a
value.
bonus, so that seems pretty good.
Yeah, the boxes in Star City are already cheaper than they are everywhere else.
Right. It's like,
so
and the singles
you
are
can get
available for a pre-order too. So if you just
all
need
the M12 singles that are
all the
announced already
spoiled
up there?
M12 singles, so you can buy
Cool.
Llanowar elves if you happen to be short one. Like I happened to notice that I was short a Llanowar elf the other day when I was trying to build my elf combo deck. I'm sure I have them
should have
somewhere.
waited. I
just
have some
cannot.
sweet Llanowar elves.
I didn't actually buy one because I assume that it's just somewhere I wasn't looking. But I looked through my M11 box and when I have 3 Llanowar elves, why do I only have 3 Llanowar elves? I have older ones. I definitely have the have like 4 revised and 4 unlimited like hanging around. But I want to play the Black Border ones. So Cudgel Troll is a card that I just really like it.
It's a great limited spell.
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of
first
not
make
good
most
enough
of
for
the time.
standard. I wanted to play. I think I want to say Gavin Verhey came up with this name, but a couple of years ago when Cudgel Troll was new, was first being printed with M10, and Day of Judgment was the Wrath of God variant. It was Cudgel Control, where because Day of Judgment allows you to regenerate, you can play Cudgel Control, and then Day of
That seems
Judgment
pretty cool.
regenerate. You know. Turn 5, Day of Judgment, regenerate my troll. You know, you have nothing, I have a guy. Which seems interesting. I mean, it's not really.
And your guys tapped and stuff, but it still seems pretty good.
I think it would have been really good in the 90s, but it seems like the type of thing that people would have been happy to do in the 90s. But
I like Dungrove Elder a lot.
Dungrove Elders, I wonder like if people are kind of looking at going, okay, I get it, green guy, whatever, and
I mean,
then
the
maybe
issue
they're
is you have to
sleeping
play
on it
all
a little bit.
forests.
Yeah,
You know,
but I
but
mean,
that's okay.
right.
I don't mind forests.
I mean, you don't even need. You need some number of forests. You don't really need to play all forests. Of course, he's huge if you play all forests, but
I'd play all forests.
I mean, 4 forests, and he's already great value. 4/4 for 3 with Hexproof. I mean, he's kind of a Thrun that doesn't regenerate, and can get bigger with every forest. I don't know.
and you can also like do things to make him bigger.
Yeah. So
Anyway, I think we're gonna take a short break before the next round starts. We'll be right back with round 5 of the Star City Games Legacy Open here in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm Jacob Van Lunen.
I'm Joey Pasco.
Be well, guys.